Hello, welcome to yet another episode of Tidbits of Tasty Tuesdays. My name is Magdalene Kamau, speaking to you from Mombasa in Kenya. It's such a wonderful Tuesday and I always look forward to this day. I look forward to this day because I get to meet you, my friend. I get to speak to you once again and I look forward to the answers or to you responding to me. I'm grateful for each one of you that have been following up and giving me even verbal responses or putting it on my Facebook. I'm so grateful. Now, I want us to go into today's topic, which is the role of a mentor. We talked about getting a mentor, the 5 steps of getting a mentor last Tuesday. And today I'm so excited because I want to help you identify what you should expect from your mentor. I know quite a number of people got quite excited about last week's topic and they were asking like, okay, when can you mentor me? Can you become my mentor? And because of that, I've decided to walk back a little bit and talk about something that has been in my heart for so long because of a certain organization that I mentor under. And they have this as a slogan: as iron sharpens iron, so does one person sharpen another. And this is taken from the Bible in the book of Proverbs. A beautiful verse. And because of this, I've actually come to realize that unless I define mentorship, then many people will be having very interesting ideas of what mentorship is all about. Now, let me make this clear. Mentorship is a relationship between two people, the mentor and the mentee. Now you must be wondering, okay, fine, we talked about the mentor last time. Now let me redefine the mentor to you. A mentor is someone who is willing to give their time, their talent, their skill, their knowledge, and their experience. They are willing to share that with somebody who really needs it in order to help them develop a certain solution. So who is this somebody? This somebody is the mentee. Now you could be the mentee. So let me define you as the mentee. This is a person who is seeking guidance in a certain area so as to be able to develop a certain solution. It could be in career, it could be in business, it could even be in their daily life, it could be in bringing up children, it could be on friendship. You know, it is when it comes to mentorship, the field is large, and as large as the fields are, or the field is, so are the number of mentors that you can have. You can have as many mentors. Only be careful not to be overwhelmed. Now, when I'm mentoring, I meet my mentees once in a month, and sometimes I do it individually, but of late I've been doing it in groups of 2 or 3. When I meet them, I have this guiding phrase in my mind that tells that I keep telling myself this one phrase. And I say to myself, I will not make the decisions for you, but I will impress on you to consider the world around you. For the answer that you seek, the reasons that you seek are just a tilt of your head away. All that you have to do is to turn your head and ask. Stop focusing on your problem and realize that there's someone who is just waiting, someone strategically placed to help you in that situation, to guide you through it. And when I say this, then by now you must have realized that when I talk of mentorship, then it must be something really personal. It is a personal relationship. It is confidential. It operates on trust. It is mutual. Both the mentor and the mentees benefit from each other. Yes, they do. The mentor does benefit from the mentee because they'll be developing their leadership skill. And because the mentor is aware that the mentee is looking up to them, then they have to keep up to what they say or what they train or how they guide the mentee. Also, this mentorship is person focused. The mentor does not focus on the business, but focuses on the person who will carry out the business. Now this must be very interesting because you're wondering, okay, does it mean that when I have the mentor, he's not going to loan me some money? No, it is not the work of a mentor to loan you the money. However, I could, before I go further on that, I could guide you a bit on the mentorship process. Number 1, the mentorship process is mentee driven. However much the mentor might want to mentor a certain person, This process must be initiated by the mentee. I know I've come across people who might ask, would you want me to mentor you? I mean, I can see a bit of struggle here. Would you want me to mentor you? And this person will probably go into doubt and struggle with themselves, and they're not sure whether to say yes or no. But until they say yes, I cannot be able to do so much for them. I can only throw a word of advice and then walk away. So the mentorship process is mentee driven. Number 2, it focuses on progress, not the task. My work as a mentor is to make sure that I see my mentee progressing from one level to another, from one level to another. Again, the mentorship process is actually a long-term process. You've heard of some old guys who are looking so wealthy and so successful, and you're wondering, how did he get there? Can I tell you the secret? They had a mentor. They were speaking to someone. Someone has been guiding them all along. They're not just experts. Someone has helped them get where they are. And so should you get someone to help you go where you want to go. Someone has been there before you. And that's why the process is supposed to be long term. It's not something that because you've achieved this task, now you walk away. No. The idea is to progress, and therefore the relationship will be long term. The process can even take a lifetime. Now, the other thing that you need to know about the mentorship process, it is aimed at developing your capabilities as a mentee. The idea is not for me to just come and train you something, because that's not the work of a mentor. But the idea here is to help you see or identify your strengths and weaknesses, and develop the capability around the area of need. I know that might sound complex, because that means that I'm not going to be able to take you to the field and help you do it. But I could recommend where you could go and get expert help as a mentor. Another thing you need to realize about the mentorship process is that the mentee has to do the work themselves. I know that's a disappointment. I know it is. And I'm so sorry that it is a disappointment. But it is not the work of a mentor to go and do or carry out the tasks. No. The mentor does not do the work for the mentee. The mentee has to go ahead after learning, after developing the capabilities. They need to go and do the work themselves. So then, what is the role of a mentor? At this moment, I'll just give you the 5 points really fast on what the role of a mentor, or I as a mentor, how will I help you? How will I be guiding you? 1, I'll help you align the objectives. I'll look at the ideas, and then you go, and we'll review all that and be able to state out their objectives. And once we've stated them down, we know where to start working. So the first role is to help the mentee align the objectives, not to do it themselves, but to help them align the objectives. The second thing is to identify the areas of need. The mentor, after having a conversation, or what we call the rapport, after creating a rapport with the mentee, they are able to see the area of need in this mentee. Where are they lacking? What do they really need? And when they have seen that, then the mentor can be able to advise the mentee or guide them through the areas that they need to sharpen and where they need to put a lot of an emphasis. The third thing that the mentor should do is actually to help the mentee as they sit together to come up with an action plan. Now that we have aligned our objectives, now that we have seen the area of need, what do we need to do next? How will we carry out the processes that we need to carry out? When will we meet? At what time shall we meet? How often should we meet? Now, this is the conversation that I expect to see between a mentor and a mentee. The fourth thing is actually the implementation of a plan. Immediately after you have set down the action plan, the next thing is implementation. It is of no good use to write down a plan and never implement it. So the action plan needs to be implemented. But what's in this action plan? It could be analyzing the business system. And because the business mentor here is more knowledgeable and has more experience, he should be able to help the mentee to identify the business systems of the mentee's idea or business. It probably is just looking at the marketing area, the sales area, the administration, the research and development areas of the business. It could also be simply to review the competition. Look at who is this mentee competing with in their business. It could also be identifying or having a picture of the ideal business. Where does the mentee want to be in 3 years? Is there another business that is already there? What is the main difference between that business and the business where, and the processes in that business and the processes in the business of the mentee? Now this, we call them gaps. For example, maybe the ideal business where the mentee wants to be in 3 years, that kind of business, maybe they have their marketing all over done through social media, done on billboards, and the mentee is desiring to get there. So the question is, what methods are they using right now in marketing? And how can they grow to reach that point? And finally, in this area, we could say maybe exploring ways of closing the gap. It is the work of a mentor to help the mentee close the gap, the gaps between the ideal business and the mentee's business. Just narrow them gradually. Remember, we said this is a process. It's not about accomplishing the task and finishing it and saying, yeah, we did it. No, it's about being able to gradually grow. And now that brings us to the fifth role of a mentor. The mentor is supposed to be able to recommend to the mentee in the areas in which they should consider for growth and development. Why? Once you've compared the competition, once you've compared the ideal business to the mentee's business, it is obvious that you will see differences. You will see that even after the mentee gets to a certain level where they want to be, they will need to diversify. They will need maybe to get a new way of doing things that is probably not in the market where they are. So therefore, it is important for the mentor to point out, you know, you need to grow in this area. You need to grow in the way that you close your sales. You need to grow in the way that you do your production. Maybe there's too much wastage. You need to look for new ways of doing the production so that you do not have so much wastage. Those are the 5 ways or 5 roles of a mentor. That's help you align your objectives, help you identify the specific area that you have a need as a mentor, as a mentee, help you come up with an action plan to actualize or implement the action plan, and finally to be able to recommend what area that you would need to consider for growth and development. Now let me ask you, are you still sitting there running your business without a mentor? We spoke last time about how to get a mentor. Now we've spoken about the role of a mentor. I've just told you that the mentor will not loan you the money. They will not even give it to you. But they will share with you the advice that you need, the experience that they have, the talent that they have, the skills and the knowledge. What are you going to do with that information? And with that, that's the end of today's tidbits of Tasty Tuesday. We will see you in the next episode where we will be speaking about pitching the business. For now, I will say bye.